Hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DIY Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm so excited about this video. We haven't done flowers in a little while, and you guys, if you've been following DIY for very long, you know that I love making flowers. So I'm going to show you two kinds today. The first one we're going to do are these burlap pulled string flowers. I'm going to show you how to make them so they're like this. Can you see the bottom of that? And then I'm going to show you how to make them so they're flat. Okay? And then we're going to take this very same idea and I'm going to show you how to make them out of this amazing felt that I got last year at the dollar spot at Target. They don't have it anymore, but I am going to be giving some of it away, enough to make some flowers of this and this and this. I'm going to be giving some of that away and today, right now, right after this video, or maybe at the end of the day, to anyone, well, not to anyone, I'm going to pick two names, sorry, and I'll send a little mini blessing bundle to two people who go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. That's all you need to do. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/user/Hiedi Scott. And my name is spelled weird. My mom spelled it wrong on my birth certificate, if you can even believe that. She thought, well, in English, it's I before E, except after C. But the thing is, it's a German name. So my name is Hiedi, H-I-E-D-I Scott. No spaces in any of that. This is how sophisticated I am to write this on a piece of computer paper and hold it up to you. But all you have to do to have your name entered into this drawing for two people to receive these little mini blessing bundles is, after we're done, don't do it now, after we're done, go to my YouTube channel and hit subscribe, and then come back here and type done in the comments. That's how I'll know who did it. So, and then I have a few other things I'll be including, but the most exciting thing is this awesome felt, which I wish they would have it again. Okay, so what we're going to be doing are these burlap flowers first, and then we'll do the felt, okay? And I wanted to show you a few things. Keep this out and remember to show it to you again. Okay, so over the years, the last 2.5 years, I have done a lot of these pulled string flowers. This is one that I made maybe 1.5 years ago. This is the same idea. These have been just in a bucket in my closet. But what I did with this is I cut all the loops, okay? Here's another one. Here's another one with a little wooden button in it, and this is a little bit longer piece because you can tell that the flower's a little bit bigger. And then here's one that I made that needs to be glued back on here. I made this, I don't even know when, last year at Easter possibly. And this is a combination of both styles of flower. It's a burlap pulled string flower on the outside, and inside of it is one of the loopy felt flowers that we're gonna do. Okay, and then here's kind of the same idea, except it's burlap on the outside and the inside was some ribbon. And here's one where I combined the two colors. I'm just gonna show you everything up front, and then we'll look at my hands and I will show you actually how to do it. And here's a little teeny something that I had. I have a huge box of flowers. Oh my gosh, huge. Okay, so what I also wanted to tell you is, if you decide to make these, they start with this. There's turquoise, there's a pretty green, there's brown, dark brown. There's the tan, which is that natural color. There's this orange that I love. And this creamy ivory, they're from Walmart. They're not with the ribbons, they're with the florals. So they're by the fake succulents and that kind of thing. And they're 5.5-inch wide burlap ribbon. I think they're like $4.88 a roll. And you can do a ton of things with these, oh my word. So that's what they start with, these guys. And then the felt flowers, we'll get to that when we get there. But what I wanted to tell you is don't throw away the strings that we're gonna pull out of our burlap ribbon, because you can use these for a lot of things. And where did that go? I wanted to show you. Oh, I mean, I've done tassels, I've done all kinds of things. Here's just a little bow that I made, and you'll notice that I put some of the strings inside of it. Can you see that? So what I do is I just get them all roughly the same length, and then I tie a real loose knot in the center. Okay, quit talking and let's get started. So if you're joining me late, we're making burlap pulled string flowers, and then we're gonna do felt loopy rolled flowers, which are really fun. Okay, so you can make your burlap flower as long as you want. I wouldn't go longer than 12 inches because that's long and it's gonna be huge. So let's see, let's do one that's 12 inches and you can get an idea of what that's gonna look like. Okay, I'm gonna come up close because I wanna show you something, which means I need to push my chair out of the way. Okay, see where I cut? I'm gonna go along that line in the burlap all the way to the end. Don't cut it off to an angle. Try, if possible, to cut, I don't know how to describe that. Anyways, I didn't say any of my normal stuff. Happy Friday. My name's Hiedi Scott. I'm glad to have you here. If you have questions along the way, feel free to ask them. If you like this project, feel free to sprinkle, which people don't know what that means. And I don't know if Facebook even likes us to say that anymore, but it just means you take my video here and you click the button down at the bottom and you paste it on your page so your friends can see this too. That's all it means. Okay, so you're gonna end up with something like this. And to get it started, see how that's straight across? To get it started, I'll take like 2 or 3 rows off the top. It makes it easier to pull the strings out if you have a little bit of this. Does that make sense? Okay. And then, oh my word, my desk is a disaster. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna start pulling one at a time. It doesn't really work to do it more than one at a time. And the creamy ivory is a little bit harder to pull the strings than the orange and then the tan. I don't know why. So look, I'm just grabbing one of the strings and I'm holding the rest of it down. Can you guys see my hands okay? If the comments are in your way, you can swipe them either up or down and they should go away and not block your view. And then if you want them back, you can swipe the opposite direction. What are we making? We are making burlap pulled string flowers 2 different ways. And then we are gonna make felt flowers. And they are awesome, so. And if I'm gonna give away a couple of mini blessing bundles with some of this awesome felt that we're gonna use, and I'll include some of this too, in case you don't have it. And to get your name in my hat for that, you just need to hop over to my YouTube channel, which is this, youtube.com/user/Hiedi Scott. My name is spelled weird, H-I-E-D-I-S-C-O-T-T, no spaces. And subscribe and then come back here and type done in the comments. Okay, so that's what we're doing. And I did want to say, why do I want people to go to my YouTube channel? Well, there's a couple reasons. One is it's way easier to keep it organized over there. I don't put every video over there. The ones where we're learning a new skill or actually doing a craft, I do put over there. And I can organize them in a playlist. So for example, I have a whole bunch of videos that involve old books and vintage paper. So that's in one category. I have a whole bunch of them that involve do-it-yourself flowers. So you can look at the different playlists, and that helps you to find what you're looking for. So it's a little easier to organize and to find what you want. Like if you want a video from last year, it's hard for me to find it, even me on my own Facebook page to find it, but I can grab the link off of YouTube easy. So that's one reason. And the other reason is, God forbid, I love Facebook. Oh my gosh. There's things about everything that are not what I would want them to be, but I love Facebook. It's a great way for me to be able to talk to you and show you crafts and stuff. And you're not living right next door and walking over to see it. So I love it. But if it should ever go away, God forbid, or if Facebook should ever decide that they don't want me sharing my faith as openly as I do here, and they turn me off or whatever, I would be so upset. But at least you could still stay in touch with me via YouTube. So that's the reason. Anyway, so no bad comments about Facebook here, because they are so awesome. They allow me to do this for free. Yeah. I'm sorry, this part is kind of boring and long. This is a good task to do while you're sitting in front of the TV. Just cut some lengths of the burlap and just start pulling. I'm going to pull all the way out to 3 rows to the edge. We're getting there. And like I said, when you're doing the tan, the natural color of this burlap from Walmart, it's a cinch to pull the strings out. This one, they kind of grab each other, so it's a little bit harder to get a hold of them, and it's a little bit harder to get them out. Okay, we're getting there. And I have tried pulling more than one string at a time, and that really doesn't work well. So you just have to do one at a time. I can't even get a hold of this. Okay, I'm just looking to see what I have here. Okay, on this side, can you see there are 3 rows? That's how far I like to go. And other people cut it really close. I'm not the only one doing this flower. I've been doing this flower for about 1.5 years here at DiyDreaming, but I didn't come up with the idea. I don't have a clue who did. But other crafters who do this kind of a flower, a pulled string burlap flower, some of them go like down to the bare nubbins, like 1 or 2 strings. And yeah, that makes me nervous. You start to kind of lose some of these middle pieces when you do that. So I think 3 is plenty good. Okay, and when I've made these before, I'm sorry, it takes a while to do this. Oh my goodness, there's almost 500 people on. And I don't know who gave me those stars, but thank you so much. I really appreciate that. What was I gonna say? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so this goes quickly as soon as I get the strings out, and I probably should have done some to pull the strings before I came live, but I was too excited. I couldn't wait. Thank you, Peggy, for the stars. I really appreciate that. Okay. All right, so I have 3 and 3. And this is what, when I was telling you about when you get way down to the nubbins, these middle strings tend to start getting snagged and falling out, okay? So we're gonna do the traditional one first. And other crafters probably even wrap this different. Okay, so what you're first gonna do is fold it over. And for me personally, it's easier to work with if I have the 2 sides glued together. So, and it's easier for me to glue them together in this direction. So I'm just using, oh, and for sure, you want to be using a low temperature hot glue gun for this project, because you are, I mean, I haven't even hardly started gluing and I already have so much glue on my fingers and fingernails. And so I meant to show this to you. This is a brand that I like, Sure Bonder, and mini size. I just like the smaller size. And mine looks like heck. You can get these at Walmart for like $10. You can get them for about the same price at Hobby Lobby too, in the craft section. But mine is a Sure Bonder Cool Shot. And to me, it feels like it's even maybe just a little bit lower temperature than a regular low temperature hot glue gun. Something's happening weird. Okay, let's finish this up. Sometimes your ends don't come together perfectly. That does not matter at all. Okay, so look at how much stuff I have on my hands. That's what I mean about having a low temperature hot glue gun. Okay, and we can really start at either end. It does not make any difference. And I don't usually cut these little strands here off, but you certainly can if you want to. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start a roll, okay, and roll in just a little bit. Can you see that? And then apply some glue and roll into the glue. And you're just rolling as tight as you can. Okay, so let me come close and show you. See, I'm just rolling. Rolling, this is where we glued it to each other. We're just rolling that. And it's not gonna look pretty when we get to the end, but it will be pretty when I show you how to fluff it up. So, these you can do, once you've done one or two of them, you can whip them out in no time at all. Just pull the strings while you're watching TV or, you know, doing some other activity that doesn't require attention. And then you can whip these out so quick. And the funny thing is, I get these questions all the time. People will send me a message and say, I've made 40 of these. Now what do I do with them? I don't know. I put them on some of my signs. I did a wreath with it. They're just cute and fun to have around. Give them to people. They cost almost nothing. Okay, so it's all rolled up and it's not perfect. And I have these little ends right there. Can you see those? I'm trying to tip it so that you can see it. Okay, so I'm gonna cut those off there. Oh, and on one of these here, this one, I did the rolling thing and I alternated little strips of pulled burlap that were orange and some that were the natural, okay? So then you're gonna get this, and that's not super lovely, is it? It's not terrible, it kind of looks like a rosebud. The next thing you're gonna do is, just looking to see what you guys are saying. You're just gonna use your fingers to start pulling it out and pressing down in the center, and then you wanna kinda pull your little loopies so they're not all super clumped together. And I have done before, I don't have it out. In the past, I have made a flower where I stuck a shish kebab spear, a wood shish kebab spear in here when I was first starting to roll, and then this was the flower. Okay, so then the next step is to finish the center of it, which you can do a lot of different things. You can put almost anything you wanted in there or nothing at all. I love buttons, so that's what we're gonna do for it. Okay. You know what? Walmart has some really nice wood buttons. Let's use one of these because these are so cute. This is what it looks like. It was kind of expensive. It was like $8 or $10, but you get this whole jar of wood buttons and they're just nice. They're all different. So let me pick out one that's going to be pretty. Oh, this is a pretty one if I can get a hold of it. Look at that. Okay, so when I do my 2 mini blessing bundles for today, for everyone who subscribes to my YouTube, not for everyone, everyone's name will go into my hat. I'll pick 2. If you go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and then come back here and say done, then I'll pick 2 and I'll put some of these. Somebody calls while I'm live because I forgot to turn my message thing off. Okay, so this is what we have, and I'm just going to put a big blob of hot glue in the center, and then I'm going to stick this in. And look how pretty that is. There's a lot of glue strings hanging around, but that is so pretty. I love these creamy colored ones with these natural buttons, but you can do like as bright as you like. They have a beautiful turquoise color also. Okay, so what I wanted to show you for the other one is that instead of rolling it on itself, I rolled it onto this little thing. So like a pinwheel, I just went around and around and around on top of itself. And this was about 12 inches. And I did it on top of a little round piece of, it was square while I was rolling it. And then I trimmed it. And then I added a button to this one too. So this one needs something. Let's give it a wood button too. This one I did before I came live. Yeah, I did this one before I came live. And it needs a little something in it. For the darker ones, I would choose a lighter color button. It's going to disappear. This is a pretty one. Isn't that cute? Can you guys make these? Excuse me. Yes, you absolutely could. All you need is some of this 5.5-inch wide ribbon from Walmart. They have lots of colors. You need a pair of scissors so that you can cut them apart. Cut them, like, experiment with 12 inches long, 18 inches long, and 24 inches long, and decide what length appeals to you. And if you like bright colors, they have a beautiful turquoise one. I don't have that. But, so you need this. You need a button to put in the center of some sort, or a piece of bling, or a piece of fabric, or just some little something. And these buttons are from Walmart. And then you need a hot glue gun, and please use a low temperature hot glue gun to make these. So, what do you guys think? Did you like this part? I think they're darling. Thank you so much for the stars. Patricia, I think it's Patricia. Oh, and people are already doing this subscribed, but that means that you didn't watch my video. Hey, and if you're watching this on replay, you can still participate. I think I'll wait. I'll let you go all through today and into the night, and then I'll pull 2 names of people who typed done here on this thread and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll pull 2 names tomorrow, and I'll get everything all together today. Okay, we're not done, so don't leave, and you're gonna love this. All right, so last spring, I believe it was, Target, Dollar, whatever, General, had these long rolls of felt that is really thick, and it's super nice to work with, and it was intended to be a table runner. Well, I grabbed multiple, and I've used a ton of them, and I was wanting to do flowers at that point, felt rolled flowers. And let me show you what your traditional felt is going to look like if you buy it just, you know, at a craft store. This is what it's going to look like, and this works too. But this stuff here is amazing. It's just more tightly woven and a cuter design. This all came from Walmart, by the way. They have lots of great colors. And they're like 30 cents a piece or 17 cents a piece, something like that. Okay, so I made a bunch of these little flowers last year using that. And then they also had a table runner that was this fabric. This one is my favorite because I love this green. You guys know I love green and orange. So I used that, and then this is the pink. These are so cute on flowers. So I bought probably 2 of each, and I've used a ton of them. And one of the fun things that I did, which I'll show you in a different video, is you guys know that I always have my reading glasses with me on my head. And so I made these darling little eyeglass pouches. Are those not cute or what? I thought about giving them away, but I can't part with them. They're just too cute. So this was early spring last year, I think. Or it could have been the spring before. I don't remember for sure. Anyways, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to make these flowers, and the size of them, let me come up close so I can show you something important, depends on how wide you cut the fabric. So this one I cut it super short and did that folding thing. This is very similar to what we did before. This one is 2 colors. This one I cut shorter, this one I cut bigger. And then I made those leaves. And then I made this into a magnet for a sign. But so the height of your flowers depends on how wide you cut them. So let's use some of this, and let me see. Let's start at the other end because I don't think that's, okay, I'm gonna do 4 rows of this, and I'll measure it so I can tell you how wide that is. It's 4.5 inches. So if you're using regular felt, you can try that, and then you can try smaller too. And this is a little bit longer than what I normally use, so we can cut it shorter when the time comes if we need to. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, so we're gonna do the very same thing. And I hope I'm not taking way too long to get here. There's just, I mean, on any given day, there's 100 things I want to show you that I get excited about, and nobody here in my house or in my close circle of friends gets very excited about those things like I do. But you guys do. So, yeah. So I just want to show you everything. Okay, so I just folded it over and I started gluing it together. You don't have to do it this way. If you can hold it, you don't have to, but this makes it easier for 2 reasons. One, it makes it so you don't accidentally cut all the way through. And I have done that. You can still use it, just glue it on. And 2, it's just easier to hold on to this way if it's already glued in a tube, basically. A lot of glue on here. Okay, let's put the glue away for 2 seconds while I tell you the next step. Oh, look at my shirt. I did lint roll myself before I came live because this is what it looked like this morning. Okay, so now the burlap, if you remember, it already had the individual strands, so we're gonna be creating that just using scissors. And you can cut these little, I'll cut a couple and then I'll hold it up close. You can cut these as wide or as skinny as you like. And I'm just cutting down to where I feel that glue. Do you guys see that? I would probably do the same roughly. Don't bother. This is supposed to be fun. I would roughly do the same distance, same width of these the whole way through this flower. I probably wouldn't alternate, but if you decide to try this, experiment with how wide you make these little cuts and see what you like, see what appeals to you. This comes together a little quicker than the pulled string because, well, it just does. It takes a while to pull the strings. But this one you do kind of have to concentrate the whole way through. So if you just joined us, we did pulled string 5.5-inch burlap flowers like this first. And you can watch this video on replay if you would like to, if you missed that part. Now we're doing them out of felt. So if you are using that felt like I just showed you from the crafting section at Walmart, the process is exactly the same. And also I was telling these guys earlier that that I made all this stuff last spring or the spring before, I can't remember. But I did not come up with this idea. I mean, I don't know who did, somebody did. It's everywhere on Pinterest. But I just wanted to let you guys know, this is not my idea. So here's what you get. Okay, so this was 4.5 inches. Before we came live, I did this one also. And let's see, let me guess what this one probably is. It's about 2 inches. So the cut, how long and skinny it was 2 inches. And this one was 4.5 inches. So look at the difference. Okay, one thing we could do, let's do this. This is fun. Okay, let's roll a little bit of the pink and then cut it. And I'm working on a cake board, a Wilton's cake board from Walmart. Look how much glue and stuff is on that. I really don't want that on my new crafting desk. So this is easy. They work out to be about $1 a piece, and when it's all completely cretted up, I'll flip it over and work on the other side. And then when it's completely disgusting, then I'll throw it away. So this is the same thing. I started a little roll, and then I put down a line of glue, and I'm rolling into the glue. Okay, and this is what I have so far. Let's go one more roll, and then we'll cut it, and we'll finish with the blue. And I'll show you how you can combine colors. You do want to roll as straight as possible. This is not very straight, but it's good enough. Okay, so I'm just going to cut all the way through back here. And I will put on a good coat of glue right there. This video is available to watch anytime in the future. So it'll be here. It'll also be, this is the kind of video I would put on my YouTube channel. And I don't know, I have 700 or something videos. Obviously, I like to do this. But if you didn't get this whole thing, or you have to work, you can't watch it, you can come back and watch any of my videos at any time on replay. Okay, so this is what we've got. Can you see that? It's exactly the same process as the other one. Now let's add this. We may not use the whole thing. And to do that, I am gonna put some glue down. Wait, and I need to make sure my thing is going the correct direction. Okay, this is a mental challenge. I'll pick this up and show you. So I just added this to the edge. Okay, and now we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just rolling into our line of glue. You really have to hold on to it good when you're starting a new color. So the two people whose names I just pull at random that put done and have subscribed to my YouTube channel by, you know, 1 or 2 in the morning or 3 or 4 in the morning today. And today is what? I don't know what today is. Today is Friday. February, it's the last Friday of the month. Anyways, I will include both colors of some of this. I will include some buttons, and I'll include some of that green felt. so that you can do leaves if you want, or you could even make a flower out of that. Okay, let's keep rolling. So maybe I am going to experiment a little bit with, instead of doing these huge blessing bundles, but not as often, to doing smaller, not smaller, but you know, more frequent whatevers. They're not contests. I don't know what to call this. Just when I want to share. Either something I've made or something, a craft supply or something like that. So, oh my word, this is a big flower. Okay. Oh, but it's going to be so cute. In a smaller scale, it would be super cute on a little girl's headband. Okay, so then I'm just going to kind of push it out. Look! Is that darling or what? Let's make some leaves. And I'm sneaking a sip of the soda my son brought me. Okay, the trick for leaves is there is no trick. You just start cutting. Because this is a bigger flower, I'm going to make a bigger leaf. We can always cut it smaller. Okay, so here's our leaf. One little trick, if you want, is you can cut, where am I? You can cut into your leaf if you want. And you can take a little nick out of it here and there. So for example, I think it's cuter just with this, well, either way, I mean, these are awesome. This felt is amazing. I wish this felt was something that you could buy, but it was a deal in the dollar spot at Target, like either 1 year or 2 years ago. I can't remember for sure. And so it's not available. So look how cute that leaf is. And then I would glue the leaf over the seam where I stopped my flower. Look how much hot glue I have on my fingers. Please don't use a hot temperature hot glue gun to do this project. Okay, and you could do a few more if you wanted, or absolutely whatever you want. But I will send the 2 people whose names I pick enough to do probably 2 of each of the colors and to do the leaves. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to show you. I'm just looking in my box to have other things. You can make cute little combinations of different sizes if you want, or you can, here's a combination. And I used the green for the leaves for the center of this one. Look at that, I used it for the outside and I only rolled around it once. Or you can just do one color. So it's the exact same idea. With the burlap, you fold it in half, which we did with this. You roll it right up on top of itself all the way to the end, and then you just push it out and you get your flower. So I think we're pretty much done with it. If you guys have questions, just let me know in the comments. If you liked this, feel free to tell your friends about it. Feel free to sprinkle, that helps my business grow, but I certainly don't want you to feel like you have to. But if you want to have your name entered for the drawing for some of these supplies, just hop over to my YouTube page. It's youtube.com /user/Hiedi Scott. And I don't know if you've ever noticed that my name is spelled weird. No spaces in there, by the way. I'll put a couple links to it in the comments. Anyways, and subscribe. And then come back over here and type done. And then tomorrow morning I'll I'll look through all those names and I'll probably write them down like I do any other time. And then I'll pull a couple and I'll make up some fun little somethings that I can send out that include the supplies for these. Anyways, I think that that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you. I do still continue to get the same message from people. I just had one this morning that said, "Are you still crafting? Are you okay? I haven't seen you in months." I said, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm doing good, and I'm still crafting every day." But she wasn't being served any of my content. Facebook wasn't serving her because of, I don't know, something to do with the algorithms, which I don't even pretend to understand. But the best thing I can understand is if you do this, or say something to me in the comments, that's considered an interaction. And if you interact with me, then Facebook thinks, well, it's not Facebook, it's their whole magical computer system, however they have that set up, thinks, oh, they must want to see what Hiedi Scott at DiyDreaming is doing. So they're more likely to serve you my content. But if you haven't liked and followed DiyDreaming, and I bet you at least half of the people here on right now haven't done that yet. You might be doing all this other stuff, commenting and everything, but you haven't actually gone to my page and liked and followed it, then it's a little bit less likely that you'll get served what I'm doing here. There's also a button somewhere up here, like 3 little dots or something, where you can turn on your notifications, but I don't personally know how to do that. I'm a crafter, not a technical kind of person. Technical stuff and math are really hard for me. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. Most of all, I hope you know that you can do this. It's easy. You can make these. You probably have stuff at home if you're crafty that you could use. It could be painter's drop cloth, it could be any kind of fabric, it could be ribbon. I mean, you can do this idea with just about anything. It doesn't have to be this amazingly darling felt from Target that I got 1 or 2 years ago. It could be, you know, something else that you may already have on stock. But I hope you know that you can do this, and you can do it in your style, in your colors, to go in your home, or if you were making it as a gift, to go for whoever might receive it. So all the crafts here are going to be quick and easy. They're going to be super affordable. They're going to sometimes be a little bit unusual. I kind of like that. I repurpose things a lot here at DiyDreaming. But above all, they're gonna mostly be focused around faith and family. And if that interests you, I hope you'll continue watching.